Oh, I saw a statistic this morning that just, wow, it really made my stomach drop.
Mm,
$28,000.
that's the one.
That's the average annual income gap between adults with low literacy skills and, well, their peers. It's huge.
It's a massive discrepancy. And, we aren't just talking about reading speed here. This is what we're really digging into today, this sort of hidden tax of dyslexia.
A hidden tax.
Yeah, it's a compound crisis, really. You have the financial cost of leaving it undiagnosed versus the incredibly high price of actually seeking the support you need.
And that's the real catch-22, isn't it?
Sure.
Because I saw that only about 35% of adults with low literacy are even actively employed.
Exactly. So you're already fighting an uphill battle just to get a paycheck. But let's say you want to fix that. You want to get support.
That's not free.
Far from it. In fact, a study out of California put a real price tag on it. Families with dyslexic children are spending on average $15,000 to
A
$20,000
year.
every single year out of pocket.
Wait, let me get this straight. You are statistically likely to earn $28,000 less, but to avoid that, you have to somehow find an extra $20,000 more a year.
The math is impossible for most families. It is.
Where does that money even go?
It goes to private schools, specialized tutoring, neuropsych evaluations, things insurance rarely ever covers. It creates this paradox where you need a high income to afford the tools to, well, generate a high income.
And if you can afford it,
Then the state pays for it later. California alone is projecting a loss of $1 trillion over 60 years from things like unemployment related to dyslexia.
$1 trillion just gone. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit. Say you navigate all that, you spend the money and you land a job, you walk into the office and get hit with what the research calls digital exhaust.
This is a huge, huge factor in workplace burnout.
So what is that exactly? Is it just too many emails?
It's more than that. It's the whole unmanaged flood of digital stuff, the unread emails, the dense documents, the complex spreadsheets. For a neurotypical brain, filtering all that is a chore.
Right.
For a neurodivergent employee, it's a complete cognitive drain.
Oh, that's a perfect way to put it. It's like having a dozen high-power apps running in the background of your phone.
Yeah,
You're not even using them, but your battery is just dead by noon.
that's a perfect analogy. And this is where we see this critical misunderstanding about procrastination. A manager sees an employee delaying a report and they just think it's laziness.
But it's not laziness.
No,
No.
it's an executive function survival mechanism. The brain anticipates the sheer energy it's going to take to decode that dense text, so it creates a wall of avoidance to preserve resources.
But that avoidance probably turns into guilt and shame.
And that just drains the battery even further.
And that battery drain doesn't stop when you clock out, does it? It follows you home, specifically to your bank account. I was reading about this thing called net worth anxiety.
Mm-hmm. This is where you can see how our financial systems almost actively exclude neurodivergent users. We see this phenomenon where capable adults simply refuse to look at their own bank statements.
Because the interface is a total nightmare.
It's visually hostile. I mean, just picture a bank statement. It's a wall of tiny font, capitalized acronyms, transaction codes that make zero sense.
Yeah.
For a dyslexic brain, that triggers immediate cognitive fatigue. So what do? You just close the tab.
It's that out of sight, out of mind problem. If I can't process the information, I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist.
And that's often linked to co-occurring ADHD. If money isn't visually represented in a tangible way, if it's just abstract numbers, it essentially doesn't exist for your brain. This can lead to impulse spending. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a user interface failure that leads to debt.
It's just so infuriating because it all sounds so fixable. We have a system that penalizes people for how their brains process data, the wage gap, the cost of support, the workplace exhaustion, and then a banking system that hides their own money from them.
It's a compound interest of struggle. You have financial loss compounding with mental health strain, like anxiety and depression. It's all connected.
So here's what I'm left wondering. We have the technology, right? We have
Yeah.
screen readers, we have visual budgeting apps, AI that can summarize all that digital exhaust. These tools exist.
And they absolutely do, but they are treated as special accommodations, not as standard features.
Which means if we're not making them standard for everyone, that isn't a bug in the system. That's a choice we're actively making to keep this hidden tax in place.
That is the question, isn't it?
Something to think about. Thanks for exploring this with us.
Always a pleasure.